What if every choice you didn't make still happened, just not here? What if most people you pass in a crowd are extras in a holographic world your mind is generating? And what if your past, present, and future are all happening now? Stay with me. By the end of this video, Dolores Cannon's wildest ideas might feel less like sci-fi and more like a user manual for reality. Dolores wasn't a channeler inventing mythology. She built quantum healing hypnosis and spent decades recording repeat patterns from thousands of clients. Today, we'll translate her densest concepts into simple, practical takeaways you can use. We live our lives believing time is a straight line. You're born, you grow up, you age, and one day you die. Simple, right? But Dolores Cannon discovered something shocking through her hypnosis work. Time isn't linear at all. It's simultaneous. Here's the metaphor she used. Imagine making a phone call from New York to London. There's a 5-hour difference, but when you ask a question, do you wait 5 hours for the answer? Of course not. The conversation is happening right now. That's how reality works. Your childhood self, your present self, and even your future self all exist right now in the same field of experience. We only perceive it in sequence, like watching one frame at a time in a movie. And here's the kicker. Because all versions of you exist simultaneously, you can actually change the way your past affects you. When Dolores guided clients back to painful childhood memories, they didn't just revisit them, they shifted them, adding comfort, new meaning, even healing. And once that past state changed, their present reality changed too. So here's a quick experiment. Close your eyes. Picture a difficult moment from your past. Now step into it with the version of you that exists today, older, wiser, stronger. Place a hand on your younger self's shoulder and whisper one truth they needed to hear. Breathe into that scene 3 times. That's not fantasy. That's you bending time. Think back to the last big decision you made. Maybe it was choosing a partner, leaving a job, or even moving to a new city. Now here's the mind-bending part. Dolores Cannon says every time you stand at a crossroads, reality splits. One version of you goes left, another version of you goes right. That means right now, another you is living the choice you didn't make, married to the person you broke up with, working at the job you turned down, even living in the city you almost moved to. But here's the catch. You're not supposed to keep tabs on all of them. Why? Because it would drive you insane. Imagine trying to process hundreds of your lives all at once. Still, there's power here. Dolores reminds us that attention is energy. The branch you focus on is the one that solidifies. The others, they eventually fade like smoke. So instead of regretting what you didn't choose, ask yourself, if the other me learned one lesson from that path, what could I bring into this life? Because in a very real sense, you already have access to those lessons. Every other version of you is a mirror showing what's possible. Have you ever lost your keys, searched everywhere, only to find them sitting in plain sight minutes later? Dolores Cannon would say you didn't forget, you slipped. She collected countless stories of people who accidentally crossed into parallel dimensions. One college student walked out of her dorm and saw bulldozers tearing up the street, construction everywhere. The very next morning, she stepped outside again, and it was gone. No cones, no machines, no evidence it had ever happened. Another client swore she found herself jogging near an airport that didn't exist in her city. For a few moments, she was watching planes land before reality snapped back. Here's the secret. You're moving through these subtle shifts all the time. Most of the changes are too small to notice. A missing tree, a store that suddenly isn't there, a conversation that feels off. Why this matters? If reality can slip, then it's not fixed. It's flexible. And if it's flexible, then you're not just living inside it. You're co-authoring it. So the next time the impossible happens, don't dismiss it. Pause, smile, and ask, what belief about reality just cracked open for me? Picture this. You walk through a crowded airport. Thousands of faces pass you by. But Dolores Cannon claimed not all of them are real. She called them backdrop people, energetic placeholders, extras in the movie of your life. Think about a movie. You've got the main characters with names, lines, and arcs. But behind them, extras, sipping fake coffee, walking fake dogs, filling the background. Without them, the world would feel empty. Dolores said our reality works the same way. Your real connections, family, friends, teachers, mentors, are fellow souls on the evolutionary path. But the random stranger at the gas station, the cashier you'll never see again, they may simply be backdrop, generated to flesh out the scene you're experiencing. Here's the shocking part. Backdrop people aren't soulless villains. They're energy constructs, holograms. They help you play out the lessons you came here to learn. And when you give them a role, even a line in your story, they adapt. They're like extras suddenly upgraded to speaking parts. Why this matters? It doesn't mean you should devalue strangers. Instead, it's a reminder. Not everyone in your life has equal weight in your soul's script. Protect your energy. Don't give background noise the power to derail your main storyline. Because in Dolores' words, this is your movie. You're the writer, the director, and the lead actor. Dolores Cannon often said Earth is a school of creation, the hardest one in the universe. Why? Because here, energy is heavy, dense, and sticky. You can't just think of something and have it appear instantly like in higher realms. Here, you have to learn the art of shaping energy, slowly, deliberately, with focus and emotion. Your life is not random. It's a training ground. Every challenge, every setback, every heartbreak is like a lesson plan designed to teach you one ultimate skill: how to create consciously. And here's the secret. You're already creating all the time. Your thoughts, your emotions, your expectations. They're sculpting your reality whether you realize it or not. The only difference is, are you doing it unconsciously, or are you finally ready to take the wheel? Quick 3-step practice, 60 seconds a day. Choose your state. One word: calm, bold, grateful. Visualize today's key scene going exactly how you want it. Step into it. Breathe and walk as if it's already true. That's it. No rituals, no crystals, no waiting for signs. This is Earth's graduation test. Can you direct energy with intention, not accident? Imagine Earth as a school where you can't skip grades. That's how Dolores Cannon described karma. Every hardship, every betrayal, every painful chapter is like a class you signed up for. And here's the catch. If you don't pass, you repeat it. Dolores called this cyclic karma. The lesson comes back harder each time until you finally learn it. Same themes, same people, sometimes even the same heartbreak, just in a different disguise. But here's the liberating truth. You don't have to keep repeating the cycle. The moment you can ask, what did I learn from this? Even if it's just one small thing, you've passed the class. You get to move forward, forgive and release. Not to excuse, but to free yourself. Take one opposite action today to prove you're no longer trapped in that old loop. So next time life hands you the same painful test, don't curse it. Recognize it, pass it, and step into the next level of your story. Think of Earth as the toughest school in the universe, a place where karma is the curriculum. Dolores Cannon said every challenge, every heartbreak, every betrayal is like a class you agreed to take before you were born. Here's the twist. If you don't learn the lesson, you repeat the class. She called it cyclic karma. The lesson comes back stronger each time, like life nudging you louder and louder until you finally get it. But freedom is closer than you think. The moment you pause and ask, what did I learn from this? Even if it's just one small insight, you've passed the test. Take one opposite action today. Proof that you've broken the loop. But here's the heartbreaking part. Many people don't know this. They repeat the same patterns over and over, believing they're cursed or broken. Some even end up labeled, medicated, or institutionalized, when in truth, they may just be souls stuck in a cycle they haven't learned how to complete. And that brings us to something Dolores discovered about mental health, something that might change how you see people who struggle the most. We all get curious about the future. Some turn to psychics, tarot, astrology, hoping for a glimpse of what's ahead. But Dolores Cannon gave us a powerful reframe. Psychics don't see a fixed destiny. They see the most likely probability, a snapshot of where your current energy, choices, and beliefs are pointing. Think of it like a GPS. If you keep driving the same road, you'll end up exactly where the map predicts. But the moment you take a new turn, the destination changes. So here's the key. Never take a reading as unchangeable fate. Instead ask, if this is where I'm heading now, what would I need to shift to choose a better road? Because in Dolores' universe, nothing is set in stone. Every decision, every thought, every new belief bends the probability field around you. It's one thing to hear Dolores Cannon's theories, but how do you live them? How do you take these mind-bending ideas and make them real in your daily life? Here's a 7-day reality editor challenge. Think of it as your crash course in conscious creation. Day 1, choose your state. One word: calm, bold, grateful, unstoppable. Day 2, rewrite the past. Take one old memory and add the comfort or wisdom you wish you had then. Day 3, import from a parallel you. Ask, What lesson did the other me learn on the path I didn't take? Day 4. Break a loop. Do one opposite action to prove you're no longer trapped by old karma. Day 5. Script tomorrow. Write one paragraph of tomorrow going exactly how you want it to unfold. Day 6. Mute the extras. Identify one backdrop voice that drains you. Social media, gossip, a critic, and silence it. Day 7. Collect evidence. Write down 5 tiny signs your reality is already shifting. This isn't theory, it's training. Each day, you're bending the film of your reality a little more. By the end of the week, you'll start to see it. The proof that your world is far more flexible than you were ever taught. Remember, Dolores said, Earth is the toughest school. But you are not here to fail. You are here to remember who you are, the writer, the director, and the lead actor in your own movie. So here's the truth Dolores Cannon left us with. Life isn't happening to you. It's happening through you. Time isn't a line. It's a canvas. Every choice, every belief, every intention paints the scene you're about to walk into. Some people in your world are real co-stars. Others are just backdrop. But you're always the lead role. And maybe the greatest twist of all is this. You don't have to wait. You don't have to ask permission. You can rewrite the script right now, today. Because if reality is a play, then you are the writer. If it's a film, then you are the director. If it's a dream, then you are the dreamer. If this episode sparked something in you, comment, I'm ready to edit below. I'll share bonus tools in the next video. And don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with one person who needs to remember they're the author of their own reality. This isn't just Dolores Cannon's teaching. This is your invitation. Your new chapter starts now.